Hey y'all, so today in this video we are covering chapters 31 through 34 of The Great Hunt, which is the second book in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. So before we get started, I just wanted to say a quick thank you for hanging in there while I get my filming schedule under control. It seems like every time I go to film, something happens. Like for example, today I had to stop this recording to go and deal with a woman on drugs going through my mail. So that was fun. Just different things like that keep happening. It's the year of 2020, so we're just gonna roll with it at this point, but let's get started. All right, so chapter 31, On the Scent. So in this chapter, Perrin and Huron and Matt and Rand and Loyal are all discussing what to do about the horn and the dagger and where it might be. So they're talking about going to Barthane's party, and it just so happens that Rand has a handy dandy invite from when people were trying to get him to be a part of the games here. And with everyone back together, I think you can really tell that Rand has grown in his leadership skills and qualities because his time with Huron and Loyal, he's been in charge. And now that he's back with Matt and Perrin around, I feel like you can really tell how he's changed and grown in this time that they've been apart. Perrin is very reflective in this chapter. He's really thinking about how the three of them have changed, and that's kind of why I bring up Rand's changes, because Perrin is also noticing them, but he's also noticing changes in himself and Matt. And he, at this point, is actually ready to tell Rand about his own powers with the wolves and being able to communicate with them, but not in front of Varen, which I don't blame him. So I feel like we're kind of getting in the right direction of our characters, the Edmund Fielders, trying to slowly but surely come together and be more honest with each other, at least for Perrin and Rand at this point. Chapter 32, Dangerous Words. The group goes to Barthane's manor for his party. Matt is grumbling about having to pretend to be a servant, which I guess I can't blame him, and it's expected of Matt at this point, but Perrin is left behind, and I understand why, but I kind of felt bad for him anyway. So we get there, and Loyal can sense a waygate nearby, which is very interesting, and also they decide to split the party. And if anyone plays Dungeons & Dragons like I do, the #1 rule is never split the party. So as soon as they started talking about splitting up into different groups, I immediately just knew something was going to happen, because you never split the party. Something always happens when you split the party. So that's going on, and while they've split up, 3 women approach Rand and kind of start flirting with him, and he's scared of them basically, and it comes across as very innocent and naive and kind of cute. So I kind of felt bad for him because he's just so nervous, but it was extremely funny. We also meet Tom, and I feel like this is going to be the part where Tom is going to eventually join us, because I know before I said that, Tom told him that he wasn't going to come, his time with the horn is done, but at this point, now that they're meeting back up with him, I think it's going to happen. I think he's coming. Chapter 33, A Message from the Dark. So in this chapter, Huron pretends that Matt is hurt in order to get Rand to come down to where they think the horn and the dagger are hidden, basically, and that is near the Waygate. We learned through Loyal that apparently the Ogier stonemasons had been here a long time ago, and that King Galadriel had stopped paying them, and that's why they left. So that was an interesting piece of lore. And Rand, being the smart one that he is, decides that it would be a great idea to open the Waygate when it's just him, Huron, and Loyal there. Why? Why would he think this is a good idea? I will never, ever know. But he decides that it's a good idea. So he opens the Waygate, and the black wind just oozes out of the Waygate, and he's having to use Saidin and the Void to try to push the wind back and keep it from just pouring out until Loyal can find the stone Waygate leaf key to put it back in to close the Waygate. At this point, Loyal is so humble, and he says he's not a hero, and I love Loyal so much. He's becoming one of my favorite characters for sure. I guess he's been my favorite character for a while, but I just love him. So they go back inside, and Rand talks to Barthanes, and Barthanes gives him a message from Padam Thane. The message from Thane is basically telling Rand to come to Tom and Head, or he's going to kill people that Rand loves, which is a typical villainous threat. All is good here. And Rand knows that he is telling the truth, and he is determined to go to Tommen's head, and he is sure that is where the dagger and the horn have ended up. And Varen has decided that they're going to use a waygate to get there, but of course they're going to use a different one than the one that's here in Barthanes' garden. So in this chapter, also once again, Tom tells Rand that he is not coming. So maybe eventually. Chapter 34, The Will Weaves. In this chapter, Tom comes back to Dina, who has been murdered in their room that they share, and I was incredibly sad for him. He kills 2 men that were there waiting for him, basically, and he learns also that Barthanes was actually killed in the night. I feel terrible about Dina, and she was the main reason that he turned Rand down into joining him, and I wanted Tom to join us. I wanted Tom to come, but not like this. I feel really bad that Dina was murdered, and I'm so glad that Tom is coming. I'm assuming that Tom is going to catch up with Rand anyway. We did learn that King Galadriel's men are the ones that killed Dina, so tough, man. We learned that Fane took the horn to Turok, who is the Sanshin leader there in Tommen Head, and we also learned that Turok intends to take the horn to his mistress. So we're getting a little bit more insight into Fane and Turok and all these people, and I'm pretty intrigued into this side of the story as well, and I'm kind of wondering how soon Rand is going to get here, and if the horn is even going to be here by the time Rand actually makes it. So that was the next section of The Great Hunt. So stay tuned next week for chapters 35 through 38. Remember, y'all are as good as gold. Y'all take care. Bye.